Whistle.
You're such a dork. You sure do love that show.
I really do. We love Ted Lasso.
I didn't love some of the things in it.
Yeah. But I mean,
Some of the stuff could be like not there.
right, but like as a whole.
Yeah, but as a whole, they could have left the stuff out.
Yeah, I think in every show there's things. It's like, did I just kick the camera thing?
Probably. That's okay. Don't mess with it.
No,
It's
I'm
fine.
moving the garbage can because I accidentally kicked the garbage can into
Don't kick the can.
Lord, I'm coming. Lord, I come. I am dead.
No, not right now. Not yet.
Not yet.
That would not be fun for me. For you, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I would know.
It's part of life.
I know. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Ted Lasso, Roy Kent, Whistle.
We can't talk much about Roy Kent. Like, there's big parts of his stuff that you can't really, like, I don't want to discuss because some of the stuff could have been left out.
Yeah, I love his character development
Character development was
in
really good.
the show. But yeah. If you haven't seen the third season,
Where you been?
it's a doozy. So I have my list.
I have a question for you.
Yes, I would love to answer. Well, maybe. Go ahead.
Probably not. You'll probably be very bored by the whole subject, but that's fine.
Okay.
So recently in disc golf, there's been trophies given out. Trophies are not always the most great things.
So they're not like a trophy on a piece of wood with a plaque?
Could be,
Oh, okay. Or
or it could be other things. I'm getting there.
okay. So sorry.
So
Continue.
there's a pro disc golfer that made the comment of, "Oh, here's the trophy of this week is going to be what can I find in my garage this week?"
Oh.
Because there's been things given out like a plane propeller. This last week was a steering wheel.
Did it have a plaque on it?
Yeah, and like I can understand the reasoning by it because like when it was originally started, it was started by a guy who owned a car dealership and like they gave away a car to the winner. Like I get it, but at the same time like the optics aren't that great.
Okay, so the guy who got the steering wheel, did he like have the best
He won the
like
tournament.
stuff with the No, stop.
What?
Don't talk over me. It's funny.
Oh.
Did he do the best score with a driver?
Yes.
Oh, he won the tournament.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was because he had like the longest drives or.
It would be great if he was driving with Daisy or Miss Daisy.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, then so what else have they given out?
So
Like duct tape, or is it like
no.
kind of cool things? Like a
I mean,
Keurig?
No, but like some of them have looked like high school trophies. Some of them are like an airplane propeller, which is kind of like cool, but on the
Where are you gonna put it?
other hand, it's like it doesn't really look like a trophy. I mean, and GMC Music City Open, one of them, is a Gibson guitar, which is like really
Okay, that's cool because it's a Music City.
It is, but it relates nothing to disc golf.
That's true.
Other,
But it relates to the location that they played.
right, kind of like the steering wheel relates back to where it started. But like, I wanted to know, like, do you like a good trophy, or does it not matter?
Like, do I like receiving a trophy, or does the
Not
trophy have to look like a specific thing?
Should a trophy just look good to look good? Because it's always like if you're receiving it, it's always going to be a better trophy than one you didn't get, because
Mhm.
you're gonna hold it to some
Right, because you won.
nostalgia in
Right.
your heart. But what about, you know,
Like, does it need to look like a trophy?
for
Like the
optics,
typical.
for the sport, to like make it look good?
Oh,
Should it
so the sport doesn't look like a joke.
right? Like it doesn't look like the sport went to somebody's garage and said,
Goodwill and was like,
"Ooh,
"Here's your
look at this
trophy."
wrench," you know,
Okay.
because
Okay.
there are things like they've had a couple like battle axes that have been given out for one of the European tour uh, tournaments, and I think for the Cascade
One. What do they do after? I like the battle axe idea.
there was an axe for the Cascade one that was up here as well. Cascade Challenge.
Okay. Initially, this is my thought about it. It's always been like a fun, like edge sport. So why not make it fun? Then the thought is, it does kind of look. The perception would be, okay, you're not taking it seriously, so why should I take it seriously? Here's my in the middle. I think it should be something fun, like a propeller, or it could be a fish, but on the glass there's like an etching or something. But it's the same thing given as a trophy for that tournament. So every time they go to Music City, they end up with his face was because I pushed the mat and it makes a sound and stuff. Sorry about that. So anytime they go to Music City, the trophy is a Gibson guitar.
Yes,
So
it is.
okay, but then what about all the other ones? Like it should be if there's like
Each
ducks,
trophy is unique to the tournament. So like at Texas States, they gave away a belt buckle.
but every
Uh,
year that they do
the
Texas State,
open,
it's a belt buckle.
yeah, and when they did the Open at Austin, I believe it was a Stetson cowboy hat.
Okay, so I thought you said that it was like, oh, what can I put?
Yeah, because each
Uh,
tournament is kind of like, oh, they went to the garage and like, oh, this thing that I'm not using right now, I'm going to give that as a trophy. Like a steering wheel or a propeller or this hat that's been sitting somewhere or
right,
this axe.
but every year. So some guy, if he wins the Music City Open or whatever, 4 years in a row, he'll have four Gibson guitars.
Uh-huh.
And a guy who goes to like the Duckworth's throwing pond receives a mallard telephone pole with his name engraved in it 4 years in a row.
Maybe.
So I think that would be fine because then each thing has its own. It's like collecting a patch, or that you have to win that one thing to be able to get that thing. And every year, so like you could, if like Pokemon, like what if you have like 5 of the 10 from the Southwest region, so you like specifically work on winning these specific ones because you want that trophy, because you
Okay.
can, it's the only way you can get this one thing.
But here's the problem with that.
Uh-huh.
It makes it, at least in my eyes, makes it feel very video gamey as trying to get achievements and not serious as in a serious sport to attract not only uh, more people to the sport, but also more sponsors that are more serious to the sport. Like you have with Nike that is in regular golf and um,
And their trophies look all the same.
not necessarily all of the same, but they're like expensive crystal, whatever. Or even like the NFL's like conference championships and stuff. Like they're cool trophies. And it looks like it was a purposed trophy to be made for that specific thing, not just something I went and grabbed and then etched somebody's name on or put on their Music City Open. You know what I'm
Uh
saying? Like it looks like a purpose built.
um what are some
Now, they do have for Worlds this week LL Bean as one of their major sponsor,
mhm
which is really cool and nice because it's a big company,
mhm
but they're also kind of niche outdoorsy big brand, right?
yeah.
So I mean, it kind of fits with the sport, but it's also like last year they had Barbasol actually come in for one tournament and sponsor
Mhm.
and things like that. It's like you've got to start making the sport in some aspects look more professional, for lack of better.
Maybe official
Yeah, more
or
official and to attract the big dollars.
so you're saying if they maybe had like their own trophy. So it was a replica of a disc on a little post in a piece of wood with their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more official to you
Right, and it would,
because it looks like a normal trophy.
and it looks like the sport, right? Because there was a comment made about one of the trophies that was given this year, and it was like, "Oh, here's the world's biggest junior high wrestling trophy that you just won for this tournament." Like it just didn't look good. Like it looked like some cheap trophy that you could have got at any trophy store.
And well,
That's all. And I'm
I
just saying
think
if it's at the pro level, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you have to think like we're thinking pro athletes, they're making their living doing this thing.
yeah, but I'm also thinking like it's it's like an alternative sport. So having an alternative trophy makes sense to me.
Yes, but in order to grow the sport, you have to be a little less alternative.
No, yeah, and like the more mainstream it gets, the less alternative it becomes because it's no longer an alternative. I just think I don't want them to lose the weirdness of the beginnings of the sport. The
I don't think the local scene ever will.
yeah.
We're only talking about the professional end of the
Yeah,
deal.
but like what other sport is like weird and is for like the weirdos and for like I mean people who are wanting to be active, but like just random old guys, random like
Golf.
families.
Golf, honey. Except for disc golf is way easier to get into and you're in the woods.
Yeah, but golf is more like hoity-toity. It's not just like
Not, I mean, yes and no. There's a lot of municipal courses.
but I'm talking about like perception. Like if you say I play golf, that is a
Yeah.
different perception than I play disc golf.
I think the perception, though, also is a bit different because of the era we're in versus the era we used to be in. Because, like, when we were kids, golf was very much like you had to be making some money to play golf,
Yeah,
right?
it was a rich man's sport.
I
Like
mean,
it
and it
seemed
still
like.
kind of is in some aspects, but you
Mhm.
can get stuff relatively inexpensively and play at a municipal course for, a fair amount of money, like what you would usually spend in an afternoon of going out and doing something.
Yeah,
Whereas like disc golf is you pay for your disc and then you can find a place that's free.
yeah. I'm just thinking like what other sport is actually like that because it's not golf. Golf has its perception of what it is. And it is a lot like, I mean, basketball, football, baseball, like those are all like people do that to make money, kids do that in the park. Like that's it's the thing, it's one of those sports that's like, oh, well that's, you know, what happens, like there's no I guess no stigma with it.
There's a stigma with disc golf.
I think there's not the same thing as like, oh, I play basketball on the weekends or I disc golf on the weekends. There's just this like feeling of like chill, more like, instead of like go go go, it's more just like this chill, but
I,
not like as bougie as golf.
I think that a lot of what you're feeling maybe is because of the way we approach disc golf.
Or maybe how I've only ever viewed it,
Mm-hmm.
and the region that we live in,
Yeah.
because that's very much like you go out to the disc golf course and that people are.
But you have to remember, like, we're not around anybody that's really taking it, like, seriously in the fact that they're going
Other
to
than
make
like taking.
money from it.
Yeah, I was like, people take themselves seriously.
Oh, yeah.
but
Overly seriously.
but no one who's like trying to make a go of it for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I've just always seen it like it's just a chill thing. Like you just hang out with your bros
Like, it still is
and
that, and
you.
it still is that for some of the professional athletes when they're doing their practice rounds and stuff. But
Right, but
when
like
it's
when you
go
think of
time, no.
but when you think of like golf and people were like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to go like whatever, we're going to go play. We're probably like drink on hole 9 or whatever." Like and they're just going to be chill and whatnot. There's still like the outfit you wear. Like there's still this um what uniform that you wear. Like you still have to like do all these things to.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, but it is expected because I'm just saying like there's just a difference in.
I think it's only because it's been mainstream for so long. And
Maybe.
and there is a dress code for the professionals. There's not a dress code for disc golf professionals other than like a very few things. Cuz there's
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody wear a tank top.
some ladies have for sure.
Oh, no, I mean like they wear like sleeveless, but they're like tight and stuff. Like I've seen those. But I mean like dudes. Like I don't see dudes in tank tops. They're
Uh-uh.
always in like a shirt or collared shirt or like
Yeah,
their long sleeve don't burn you shirt.
right. They're really getting into the sublimated jerseys
Yeah.
as of late,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, really good because it's very breathable material.
Mm.
But um, yeah, there's no specific thing where like you have to wear khaki type shorts and a belt and a polo or anything like that.
Mhm.
Like it's look decent, basically, is the dress code.
Yeah. So what so what if instead of it being like an actual guitar, it was a guitar on a stand? Like it could be a guitar on a stand on a piece of wood with a thing for disc golf. Or is it just bothering you that it's not a disc or
It's not
a.
bothering me anyway. I just found it a very interesting take.
Okay, but are you saying like would you want it to be a. I mean, I think it would be kind of cool that if all the trophies were like little baskets and you can like
Yeah.
practice in them. And you just have a bunch of baskets on your
I
wall.
don't think it needs to be functional.
Okay, right. No, I get that. But are you saying like it should be a basket or a disc
I don't know.
or
I don't know for sure. But there's
like if it's a
also
guitar or a belt buckle, but it's like on it on a stick on a piece of
But there's
wood.
also like trophies that are like a crystal vase type or a very nice ornate thing.
Uh-huh. And that's okay, even though it has nothing to do with the sport.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think optics look bad when it's just a bunch of randomness.
But if it's not random, if it's planned and every year is the same thing, it's not random. And every
It's random from event to event.
yeah, but
But
each year that event, the gift, the thing is the
but
same.
not all of them look good, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but not a lot of
And
trophies look good. Like some trophies are just
I,
gaudy and weird and I mean every other sports thing, like some of them it's a basketball on a stick. Some of them it's
honestly, I think they should
but
probably go more to a medal type situation and have a trophy at the players championship. Honestly,
like you want it to look like the Stanley Cup.
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't have to look like a Stanley Cup.
Uh, what do you want it to
But
look like?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh.
I'm not. I don't care that much. Other than like I,
Other than it's just not a random object that you're gonna have like a full size guitar, possibly four
not that
times.
we could go somewhere in our house, pick up, put a plaque on it, and say, "Here's your trophy for this week." That's my thing.
So what if it was a specially well, I mean if it's a belt buckle, you can't. It would be like a specially made
Right.
belt buckle.
The belt buckle thing is cool. Like
Okay.
that is a cool thing,
Well,
right?
if it's a steering wheel that has the name like in the steering wheel or it's like engraved into like the center triangle thing of a racing wheel, would that not be the same then as a belt buckle or is it because a belt buckle's small and in the rodeo you collect belt buckles and so for you that like makes sense.
No, and it makes sense because it's also in Texas,
Uh-huh.
right? And it's their thing, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just go randomly get this specific belt buckle and hand it to somebody and say it's a trophy.
Okay, so what if
I
it's a
could go
Gibson?
buy that Gibson guitar and hand it to somebody and say it's a trophy.
So your thing is it's not exclusive.
No,
If it's gonna be random, it should be randomly exclusive. Like the thing should be exclusive.
I don't even like it necessarily being. I think it should be tied something tied to that event that
Yeah.
you can only get at that event.
So if they had a Gibson guitar that was only for disc golf, only for this event,
Only for the event. It doesn't need to be only for disc golf.
okay, well, only for that event. So if like Music City, he's like, hey, we're gonna be doing this. Talks to Gibson. Gibson's like, yeah, I support that. They're like, okay, every year, will you make this guitar for us? And it's only that one for that year for that one thing. That would be okay.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nothing.
You're having thoughts.
I'm just saying, I think you think if it's big and doesn't look like a trophy, then it's not like official. But I think the belt buckle in your mind is fine because it's metal and belt buckles have been given as trophies in the past. Guitars aren't usually like, so it's something small that you can collect in a small place, not a giant. I mean, if they have one propeller made every single year for this one thing for the Airplane City Open, you would still be like, it's a propeller. Why is it a propeller? Well, it's they only make one a year for this thing. Like it's very specific. And be like, yeah, but it's like a giant propeller. If it was a small propeller that you could collect small, I think that you would be okay with it.
No.
Because it's a propeller?
Yeah.
But
Like
it's the Airplane
it's the
City
LWS.
Open.
Yeah. Like I get what you're saying and they have a plane in the logo
Uh-huh.
for the tournament.
But you don't like you're okay with the belt buckle because it's their thing, but you don't like that it's an airplane propeller when it's their thing. or
No.
a guitar for Music City when that is their thing. Like that
The
area is
way that
known
it
for that.
looks, though,
But a
is
belt buckle is fine.
did
I
they
think that's
purposely
what's,
make the belt buckle?
huh?
Did they purposely make the belt buckle like it says Texas State's open and
Yeah,
that's my thing.
right. But I'm saying if all of these other items said the same thing and it's only made,
But that's the thing, it's not.
right, but it's all hypothetical. So I'm saying if it is only made, you still were like, still no. Even
Yeah,
if,
I don't know.
I think because it doesn't look like a trophy, you don't
Maybe.
like it. Because I think it's cool if, like, they made one wheel, one steering wheel every year, and it's like, in the metal spokes in the middle where it holds to the column, it's actually like done, and it's like a trophy, but it's a steering wheel.
You
It's
would have to see a picture of the steering wheel. It doesn't look nice.
No, what I'm saying is, if they did all of these things to make it exclusive, and they only make one a year for the winner, and all these things, would it be okay? And you still don't like it? I'm not saying what they gave this year. I'm saying in
I'm
the
saying
future if
I
they did
can't
this a new
picture
one.
it, so I can't tell you for sure. I'd have to
Uh,
see a finished product
uh-huh.
because one another person posted a meme that very much is kind of like my thought on the whole deal,
Yeah.
where it's like um other sports trophy rooms, like sports athletes trophy rooms, looks very nice and ornate and done and you know
Shiny and behind
shiny
glass
and
and
all that stuff.
uh-huh.
And then it says, you know, the winningest, most ladies' trophy room, and it's a picture of somebody's garage. Like it just was stuff piled because of the type of trophies that they're giving out.
Uh-huh. I don't know. I just, in my head, I think, and it's probably the way that I view it, it's just, I think that as professional as it gets, like, it can be as kitschy as it wants, because that's just the weird that it's been. And I like that they keep it weird. Now, do I want them to look like they just went to their garage? No. Like, I would like them to look like they took some time and some money and effort into planning what it's going to be. I don't want
Mhm.
somebody to be like, this is a steering wheel cover from Walmart with my name on it. Like, clearly that's not worth winning a
Right.
trophy over. Like, I'd be like, why did I play for all of this? This is,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, you
yes,
still
I
get the prize
won.
money.
Oh, okay. But still, like, it's not something you want to hang up and
Right.
show people. But if there was a Gibson guitar and it was from the Music City Open from 2023, and you know, only four other people have this since the beginning of the Music City Open, and it's like exclusive and cool or something. Like it has, or maybe it's a Gibson that is signed by the has a signature of the guy who invented the sport. Like that's cool. Okay. Um then it's like, yeah, it's a weird sport and it has a weird trophy. Like this is cool. These are all of the trophies that I won. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, is that a propeller?" And you're like, "Yeah, it was at the Airplane City Open." They're like, "Oh, that's cool."
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like from what I understand, and it could be not true,
Yeah.
but I've heard that some of the what they turn into trophies, like the guitar, is a donation because the other part of it is if they're spending money on trophies and making nice trophies and things like that, does that then take away from prize money?
Mhm. I mean,
And you're still at a point in the sport where you're not really making all that much.
if Gibson donated a special guitar every year, that's fine if they don't pay for it, I think. I mean, because somebody else who's paying for the trophy, the NFL, like the actual, like
The NFL is paying for the NFL trophy.
the big one, they don't have any sponsors who, like Pepsi doesn't chip in to pay for the giant trophy.
Well, not to my knowledge.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It would
I
make
don't know
sense
why
to
they
me.
would. It's a multi-billion-dollar sport. They don't they don't need somebody to.
Yeah, but like, okay, so like the MLS, they're very sponsor driven. Like they have sponsors on everything. Everything. Whereas like
But
the
that's
NFL
soccer
doesn't have.
everywhere.
Yeah. So I would think like if for the world if like the world open the world I don't know, what is a soccer game?
A soccer match,
Yeah, what's the big one?
the World Cup.
Okay. If the World Cup, like if one of the big sponsors was Xbox, or if one of the big sponsors was Coca-Cola or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, we want to," like if it's one of their big sponsors, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to help pay for this trophy, this giant soccer ball on a stick,"
Mm-hmm.
then and like that would make sense because it's a sponsor to the sport, not to one team, but like to the sport. Whereas like what Pepsi is a big one for a sport, wasn't Jessica Simpson a
I know they sponsored like something with the NFL or
like
something.
Monday Night Football or something?
Probably.
Right, so like Monday Night had a sponsor. Like it was the entire football was sponsored by Dr. Pepper. No, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, right?
The television broadcast was,
Oh,
from what I understand.
I don't actually understand any of that. But I don't know. I would think it'd be fine.
I don't know. It was just something to think about because there's some things like I'm just like that looks really stupid, but there's other things that's like that's really cool. Like there's one that is a bear, but you don't actually get to take the bear statue home. It's just a thing like you
Your name gets engraved on it.
yeah, something like that. So,
Okay. I mean, that's cool though. I mean,
mhm.
and then you don't have to store it.
Right.
I do like that.
Well, especially with a lot of these guys, I mean, they're van lifing, road warring to
Yeah.
each tournament. So, I mean, they had one guy living out of a Prius for a
Oh
while.
man.
Yeah.
I just in my head when you're like they show these rooms and they're all shiny and glass and all that. I just don't see disc golfers as wanting shiny, pristine glass stuff. Like the disc golfers we know, they're chill and funny and they don't that's not like what they want.
Yeah, but just because you have glass and nice things doesn't mean you wouldn't be chill and funny.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like in my head they would value something weird over having a case of shiny things. They would have like
Yes, the people we know, I'm sure, but those aren't professional disc golfers.
that's accurate. That is accurate.
And I think one of our buddies, if he were to be in professional disc golf, for sure would like it to look really nice.
Okay.
But also would like it to look nice, but be,
A little weird.
yes,
Okay. So if it was like a miniature guitar on a stick,
or something
mm-hmm.
like
Or a music
uh,
note, or
guitar leaning against a basket, or a guitar leaning against a disc that has writing on it, something.
maybe like a banjo, but it's a
Right,
disc. for the
Right.
center instead of a middle.
Right.
So you want it to still have a disc or something to do with
It doesn't
disc golf
necessarily
on it.
have to have a disc.
Mm,
Like it could be other things. I'm just spitballing simple ideas.
sure. You can take all of our ideas.
PDGA
I would.
and Pro Tour.
Yeah. Thank you.
But you
Take
know,
all our ideas.
all our ideas, you can take them and throw them in the trash can
Oh,
because I'm sure you have better ones
yeah.
on how to grow the sport. But I don't know. It just optically, I don't think it looks as great.
As like professional.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
As the more mainstream stuff.
Yeah. I guess like optics, perception wise, if you want it to be more bougie, like golf
It's not even
feels.
necessarily like bougie. It's the professionalism and the amount of sponsorship money, the kind of money these guys to make in order to actually have the sport be at a really high level because they're not concentrating on other things. They're actually doing the sport.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's if you want all professional sports, like athletes, for that to be their thing, to be singly um, jobbed, to be single minded in that thing, instead of being like, yeah, I mean, you make like a normal person's wage. You also have to like when you win stuff, but if you want more money than that, like you're gonna have to do something else.
Well, that's why they have disc sponsors and
Yeah.
stuff. And if they have placement at a certain spot, then they get bonuses and stuff. That's the way, like a lot of these guys, the only way they're making it is because they have a Tour Series disc and they're selling it from tournament to tournament.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
Or they're getting help in some way. Like some of these guys are making very little money.
Mhm. Mhm. What would it be like if like football was like that? Instead of $1 million of contracts, it was just like they're making normal people's salary and they had to get their own
It wouldn't
sponsors.
be as good of a sport as it
And they
is.
would do. You think?
Yeah. I think the really high level athletes would go to something else that would make more money.
No, like all sports. What if all sports were just like that?
I don't think sports would be aspired to.
Really?
Not as
Well, they
much.
probably wouldn't be willing to put their body in that amount of pain all the time for that little of money.
Yep.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And all your really high performers would value themselves higher than that and would not do it.
Well, unless we didn't know any different. Like if it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I
I
get
would
that,
think
like
that they would be
making,
smart enough to say, it's not worth it.
putting your
All the
body in that
CTE
place.
and everything else.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, concussions are no joke. The cat. She's laying on the laptop case. She's been in here a lot. Oop. Well, she's been in here a lot since Hurley passed. She's usually she's a lot when she's inside, she's a lot where people are now instead
Yeah.
of being out on her own.
Well, because she doesn't have somebody to hang out with all day.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Yeah.
She's doing fine. They caught her inside the neighbor's Jeep. They leave like the window cracked and she goes in there and lays on the dashboard. And one day I was like, do you want me to like put like those bird strips or something? Do you want like and he's like, no, it's okay. She just sits in there. So she just hangs out in his Jeep.
Yeah.
So like, okay.
I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but at the same time, like he leaves his windows open, and he
Yeah.
knows the cat goes in and out, so
Yeah. Yeah. They're nice. They're nice to you, weirdo.
it's a good thing.
Hey, sweet. We like our neighbors. We only have one neighbors.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah. We live kind of like on the end, and then we have one neighbor, and they are fantastic. We love them so much.
They are very nice people.
They're so great.
Considering the way we met them was I ripped wires off their house.
That's true. When we moved in, the U-Haul caught one of the wires and right out of the house.
Yeah, that
Thankfully, it was
was
like an old phone line.
yeah that they didn't use, so it wasn't like super thing. And
Yeah.
CenturyLink came out and chopped the wire, and away we went.
That was fantastic. Not the greatest way to meet your neighbor, but
We had to hold the wire up so it didn't go across the busy street.
yeah.
Oh, it was a mess.
But we met our neighbors and they were fantastic and we love them so much. Um I was gonna say something before the cat.
Before the cat?
Yeah, before the whole cat thing. No, she's just sleeping away. She can tell I'm talking about her. Her tail started twitching.
Hmm. Maybe she's having a vivid dream
Maybe. I hope so.
about chasing things down and murdering them.
Yeah, she's really, really good at that. She has a bell. She has like and another like thing, so they like the bell jingles and the other like tag jingles against it. And the thing is,
She's
it's
really
not
good
even
about being quiet, though.
she's really good at being quiet. And the thing is, it's not like I know that cats, outdoor cats, indoor outdoor cats are like the biggest harm to birds. It's not even really the birds that we need to worry about. It's the field mice. It's the moles, the baby moles. It's rabbits.
Bunnies.
Um,
Lots of bunnies.
it's
I'm just hoping she doesn't get in a tussle with the trash pandas that roam in the neighborhood.
I know, or a coyote,
Right.
or yeah, yeah. I mean, we live in a city, but we have so much greenery around us. There was
Enough
a
woods.
deer
Yeah.
in the yard the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we get coyotes riding up and down the road.
Because we're fairly close to the edge of a military base which has a ton of woods.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and they make their way.
Lots of bunnies. Lots of bunnies.
Hmm. But she's slowed
Yeah.
down since Hurley's gone.
Yeah. They used to hunt together.
Yeah,
It was so creepy and so cute.
mostly creepy.
Yeah.
They would take turns shaking it in their mouth.
Yeah. That was not great. Um,
So,
but yeah. But no, it was something before the cat. What was I gonna
was
say?
it Princess Bride?
Oh my gosh, I love the Princess Bride. I heard something on TikTok the other day
Oh, what did you hear?
about the Princess Bride. It is a theory, a fan theory.
Mm.
That's not what it's called.
Well,
Fan,
yeah,
not fan
fans.
fiction.
It's
No,
not fan
that's a
fiction.
writing.
Yeah, fan fiction is like people making Star Wars
Fan
stories.
conspiracy theory. Fan
Well, yeah.
alternate something.
So let's call it a fan conspiracy.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's a possibility.
Okay.
Kind of like a
That makes
conspiracy
that works.
theory. Like it's not the way that everybody else thinks it is.
Uh huh.
And maybe this.
Okay. You know what? Conspiracy theory. I think fits.
Yeah,
Okay. Let me
maybe.
tell you. So the thought is that when Wesley has a vial and the cork and he hands it and he says, "Sniff this."
Wesley doesn't hand it.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
No.
Yeah, Dread Pirate Roberts. Wesley
He's
hands
the
it.
same. No, but he doesn't hand it.
He hands it to him.
Does he? No,
Yes.
he had
He
it.
takes it out of his thing and he uncorks it and he hands it and he said, "Sniff this, but do not
Yeah.
inhale."
I thought that came from the guy that was bald.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he said battle of wits, blah, blah, blah. No, he takes the iocane powder and he says, sniff this, but do not inhale. And he's like, there's nothing. He's like, what you do not smell
We're gonna have to
is
rewatch it.
iocane powder.
Okay.
Right? So anyway, the thought is, and then he turns around and he's like, oh, and with that, like, then he like takes the vial and he pours some in each glass and he stirs, stir, stir, stir. And then it's like, oh, what's, and then the Vicini is like, oh, what's that? And then he switches the drinks and then he takes a drink. And he's like, oh, the drink was in yours all along. And I switched the glass when your backs are turned. And then he died. Dead. Right? Thought is, um, that Wesley, Dread Pirate Roberts, did not build up an immunity to iocane powder, like he said to him, but instead, the death started happening the moment he inhaled the iocane powder. That's what started killing him. So, like, the battle of wits was done before it even began. Because he sniffed it and that's what was killing him, not the fact that he drank it from the goblet.
It's an idea. That would be cool.
We do have to rewatch it though to see if you can actually see powder being poured in to the
Right.
glasses, or if
And I
it's
think
just
we need to rewatch because I remember it as the
no.
ding-a-ling.
I'm okay. I no. Wesley does it. Because he's like, I changed. You only think you're winning because I switched glasses when our backs were turned. And he's like, it's actually in both of ours. I built up an immunity to it.
You know
Is what
Oh, because
Buttercup was like. Buttercup's
he
like, I thought,
says,
oh, so it was in yours the whole time.
he says, oh, let's make it more interesting. And pulls it out, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, oh, it was in your drink the whole time. And he said, no, it was in both.
And why did he go limp?
Who?
Wesley.
What do you mean, why did he go limp? Because he was killed in the pit of despair. And he had to be revived by Miracle Max.
Was it in the pit of despair?
When he sucked 1 year of his life away? And then
yeah.
he said, not to 100!
I just sucked 1 year of your life away.
Yeah, then he was mostly dead.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why everything was limp. And I was like, you just jiggled your thumb. Does that make you happy?
Wow. You can really just quote this whole movie.
I love it so much.
It's good. We should watch it again soon.
We really should. Oh, that's a comfort movie.
Yeah, we make a date.
Yeah.
A date to sit on the couch and watch a movie.
Yeah, that would be so fun. And maybe we can make like themed snacks.
Okay. What would your themed snack be?
Well, Miracle Max says in MLT where the mutton is nice and lean and the tomato is perky. We could do BLTs.
We could also do mutton LTs as well. We have sheep.
We have lamb. Mutton is grown sheep. We have baby sheep.
I've heard it both ways.
Well, if it's going to be a different meat altogether, it might as well just be bacon.
It's not different meat. It's the same animal.
Yeah, but it's a vastly different age, vastly different flavor.
Actually, lamb can be up to 2 years old.
Yeah, and mutton is older than that. But I'm just saying, we could do BLTs.
Saying.
We could do chocolate-covered nuts. The Miracle, they covered it in chocolate. Helps it to go down easier. Oh my goodness. We could do juice with iocane powder. You know, like berry lemonade. The powder could be lemonade powder.
Mm.
We could do like pretzel rod swords for dessert
Ooh.
to mimic all the fighting with Inigo. And the knife that she pulls out of the box to stab herself with,
We could
but then
make
she doesn't
ripping
because of her
chickens
perfect breast.
with 6 fingers.
Ripping chickens with 6 fingers.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a deep cut. Ayo.
Oh, that is good. That would be so good. Maybe we should have more people.
Yeah, we could make it a party.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
I can't tell.
Um,
Is that you about ready to explode?
yeah, I'm about ready to pop. I'm so excited. Now we have to plan a time for this to happen.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe when it starts getting more rainy more often for longer, and then we need a little bit of
Like
brightness.
next week?
I think maybe this week is our last high day, our last 90-degree day, maybe.
No, this week. Like this was supposed to be the end of the hot.
Yeah, Saturday is like, it was supposed to be 90, but now it's only supposed to be like 83 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're sleepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look, it made a square. Look at that. It is practically perfect in every way. Like
Practically.
Murray Poppins.
Practically. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm not putting it on the microphone because you said that'll be annoying for people. But I could put it right on this.
Uh-huh.
They didn't hear a thing.
Okay. We'll check the tape. The digital tape, because yeah, nobody has tape anymore.
Tape deck.
Tape deck?
Yeah, like a tape deck. You put it in and then you hit record when your song came on.
Yeah, and you always got the DJ doing the thing.
Talking through like the intro or talking through the last words and you're just really feeling the song and you're singing and then okay, now that was next up. You're like, no, I don't want to know.
Could be like Jack FM now in the Seattle area. They cut off like the half third of every song.
Really?
It seems like it.
Here's the thing. There's so many different music streaming. You don't have to listen to that if it bothers you.
Nope.
And I love that. We didn't have that option because
No. Struggles that kids today will never know.
I know. Kids.
Cue the video of the person that can't even open a cassette case.
Yeah, I saw that on TikTok. That was funny.
Also sad.
Yeah, but it's nothing she had experienced yet. I wouldn't know how to open something technological. I'd be like, somebody give me a screwdriver. I'm going to open this.
Okay.
You're like, you Neanderthal?
No, I'm just saying, like, you could also, like, just look at it and, like, why would you try to open the smallest part of the thing? Instead of seeing, like, looking at it and going, oh, that's the hinge. It probably opens from the other side.
Possibly. But I'm sure she didn't even look at the ends to see that, like, oh, there's a little hinge thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Poor thing.
Poor thing.
She doesn't know what it's like to stick in a pencil and wind your tape back.
No.
Wind it back.
Or if you had, like, the hexagonal bits with your drill. Speed winder.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
The ones you stick it in and it rewinds for you.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing about those is they had a thing, like, when they hit so much tension, they stopped. Your drill doesn't do that.
That
You
is
got to be
true.
careful.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, it'll rip it right apart.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even think of putting a drill in there.
Mm-hmm.
I did put it in and like spin it though.
Like a noisemaker.
Yeah. So it would go faster.
That's funny.
Uh, yeah. We're old. Not old, old. Not old, old. And I definitely look younger than you.
Uh-huh. But who actually is?
That's not what matters.
Mm.
That's not what matters. Women live longer anyway, usually, so.
All right. We just got some good news that my aunt will be in town and my
Yeah!
uncle.
We get to see them. We love them.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we love them a lot.
And then we're going to see Dave
Matthews.
at the Gorge with a friend this weekend.
Sing to me, Dave. I love
Uh,
Dave Matthews. And it's called Labor Dave. It's Labor Day weekend and Dave Matthews is there. Isn't that just adorable?
every year.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be called Labor Dave if it was just like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
It's every year.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a corn dog this time.
Which is fitting. That was random. I'm gonna have a corn dog this time.
Caught me on a corn dog. We say that I'm a dorkfish. You caught me on a corn dog.
Yeah, you can thank Bill Engvall for that one.
Oh, so funny. That is a funny man.
Here's your sign.
Um,
But yes, so which is fitting because it's coming towards the end of the music season in the U.S. because it's getting colder, and he lives in Seattle, so
yeah, it's just a short drive for him.
yeah, 4 hours.
The last time we were there, he had a couple of his band members missing because they had COVID.
Maybe they'll be back.
Poor little babies. But yeah, festival season is almost over.
Yeah. And State Fair is starting
This
this
weekend.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Ooh, Selena put in a thing she crocheted. She did like this huge.
I think she's more of an old lady than we are.
Yeah, I love that. About her. She. I only in those ways. She likes plants and she crochets, but
She has lots of cats.
She has two. She has two cats and a dog.
That's a lot.
She did a
Blanket.
mandala. How do you say that? Blanket, a huge one. And it is beautiful and took her a very long time and she entered it into the fair. I hope she gets a prize. She did so good on it. It took her a long time.
She did do a
And it's
phenomenal
huge.
job.
It's so good. I hope she gets a blue ribbon.
Oh, but you can get that in your garage. Can't you get one of those in your garage?
A blue ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. She already have one. But I know, you're call back.
Mind.
I know.
Never mind.
Oh, I got it.
You didn't act like you did.
Oh, I wasn't going to dignify that.
With a laugh?
With responses.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's exciting. What else?
There's not much else. Just been busy.
Yeah, we have been busy.
Lots of working and stuff. Coming up on the end of it because you only have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I get Friday off.
And we'll see what happens with me and what's going on with that.
We see your aunt and uncle tomorrow night. Right? They said yes tomorrow night? No, Friday night. Friday night. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah, I would rather not on a school night.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're gonna
I
see them on
would, but I'd
Friday.
rather see them on Friday when we have more time.
Yes.
But we don't have to get up super early for Friday, which is nice.
That is true. We get to sleep in a little bit because we don't work at the coffee shop on Friday. Baby, we should go to bed. He's sleepy. Look at his mouth. He's yawning.
That's okay. That's okay.
We want to be where the people are.
Did you hear about the two guys that stole stole the calendar? They each got 6 months.
So they stole it evenly.
Yeah.
They split the profits evenly. The getaway driver didn't get a less of a cut.
Or they each got 6 months sentence. Never mind.
I got it. 6 month sentence. 6 months of the calendar.
Yeah.
I get it. You're a funny fella.
Ha 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 ha.
Mostly when you're not trying to be. You're very cute and funny.
Oh. Well. Sometimes it takes no effort at all. Like the guy that had the shopping cart attached to the top of his car today.
We were at Costco and this guy had a shopping cart. Not even from Costco.
It was like a Walmart old like metal shopping cart.
Yeah,
The
with a
wheels and
blue handle.
the wheels and bottom were like chopped off of it, and it was like zip tied to
To
his
the
look.
top of this SUV. But the thing is, it wasn't like a hoopty SUV. It was like a decent SUV. It
Hmm.
it didn't look like someone who's living in their vehicle kind of a thing where like you would keep a shopping cart.
And we
Like
were at Costco, and I don't think many people that live in their vehicles shop at Costco.
and here's the thing, like it was empty.
It was empty, just a shopping cart right on top.
I was like, hey there. It's not even like they used it for groceries, like just tossing in toilet paper, tossing in paper towels.
Hmm.
You know, like they weren't using it for shopping and taking stuff
No,
home.
there was
It was
nothing in it.
empty on top. I was like, okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
Chris was funny. It was like, T wasn't trying. He was like, oh, it's for all their luggage. I mean, baggage. All their baggage. It was funny.
No, well,
I,
yeah, but I also said that they said bring your own bags. Shoot, I'll bring my own cart.
yeah, yeah. That too. Yeah, I don't. Bags. We don't need no stinking bags. I brought a cart. Honey, help me get the cart down from the roof. Why is
Except
it
for it
so
had.
when I do it?
I have no
I don't
idea.
know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's offensive.
Why is it offensive? Because it's mostly true.
Because immediately. What were you gonna say?
I don't know now.
Look at that. That is a beautiful little loop. It looks like I'm about to make like a bread. I mean, not out of this clearly, but if that was like a little bread,
You can
and you're
call it
like
Smurf bread.
doot doot doot, and then it came out, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that was a cute braid on that bread.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right, guys. We'll let you know next week how the concert goes.
Amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I can
Amazing.
feel it in my bones.
In your
I can
bones.
feel it in my bones.
Bye.
Bye.